Thank you for the question.
Yes,
very good journalist.
You know, interestingly, I'm not sure if I'm going to end up answering your question the way that you thought maybe I was going to, but here's something that's interesting. When we were growing up in the 90s, I had a subscription to Spin Magazine and Rolling Stone Magazine, and I loved music journalism. I loved to read about bands, and I don't love to read about bands anymore. And I don't know if it's because I'm in a band and I'm hypersensitive to it, but I think that something did happen, unfortunately, with music journalism when it became something that had to be constantly, like every day there has to be something new. And almost every hour there has to be something new. And I think the internet really made stuff really truncated and quick and soundbitey, and not as much attention was put into the writing, because you didn't have, like, you could write a piece over the course of a couple of months, and then it would go up in a or it would go into a magazine, and then that would get, the mailman would carry it to my house, and then I would read it, and that would have to last. Like, I would have to resonate for a long time, and so the actual material, I think, resonated for a long time. And so I guess it's just a thing that I think about a lot, is like, how are we in the music industry, and those people that we work with in the music industry, you know, journalists or promoters, or, you know, like all the different people that come together, and we create like a job for all these different people or whatever, and we all have to work together. How do we make you interested again in what we are saying and doing? And that I don't know the answer to, because it doesn't matter how interesting I think I am or how interesting a journalist thinks they are when they write about artists. Something is gone, I think. I mean, I'm going out on a limb here, I'm speaking, but I do think something has changed. And so I guess I don't know what to tell you, except that I hope that we've had like a transitionary period, and that we're going to move back to something that's more substantial. It would be nice to feel like when we read about a band, we really learned something, not just sort of scanned our eyes over and learned a couple of details. So, and then the second question, what do we think about when we play? It's so complicated. I mean, sometimes, honest to God, I very rarely think about the original reason that I wrote a song. Sometimes I'm just looking at Tegan and thinking like, oh, I'm so jealous of like what her outfit is like tonight on stage. And then there are other times where I'm like, playing a song and I'm looking out and I'm having existential crisis, and I think like, what's it all for? You know, it just depends. It depends where I'm at that night.